Hello YouTube, welcome back to Brilliant Pit Seasonal Wellness YouTube channel, or if you're tuning in from Seasons and Sessions Facebook group, welcome back. Today we are talking about Virgo season, and as you can tell from the title of today's video, this is going to look a little bit different from what I normally have been doing. We are going to do a tarot reading for all signs. So this is based on your sun sign. And before we do that, we are actually going to talk through Virgo season symbolism. What does Virgo actually represent? How can we work with the energy of Virgo this season? And as well as the seasonal representations, the symbolism, before we get into each sign's specific reading. What you can expect within each reading is kind of your tips for lifestyle and business if you are a business owner, or if you want to just understand kind of a full view of what this looks like for your lifestyle, what this looks like for your work life. This reading is going to be just what you need. So before we get into it, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you love content like this, if you want to know more about seasonal wellness, seasonal symbolism based on astrology. I invite you to subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of the community. And also, I wanted to let you in on my latest and greatest addition to the Etsy shop, Virgo season happy birthday cards. So these are perfect for your retro vintage lover friend, your colleague, your sister. Just really cute, really symbolic of Virgo and all of the things that Virgo represents. Vintage car with transportation Mercury vibes, books and reading and independent women, typewriter, writing, and of course all of the symbolism of harvest season, plus the connection to Pisces and Virgo here with the spirit butterfly. So I hope you really love this card. I've been coming out with happy birthday cards for every zodiac sign. I am having a ball. Like, I am having such fun doing this, and I would love to hear your thoughts on kind of what you think of the card, and also if you have any ideas for Libra. That is what I'm working on currently. So any visual ideas for Libra, definitely leave in the comments below. Alright guys, I'm sorry that it is raining. We're having a downpour right now, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, I apologize, but we are just gonna work with it. It's a vibe. It is low lighting in here, and I'm just so excited to get into this and do this tarot reading for Virgo season. I'm going to actually be recording the cards that I'm pulling for each zodiac sign, so you will be able to see everything. I'm not just going to be interpreting it based on what I'm pulling, so you'll be able to see everything. And yeah, I'm just very excited. Virgo season symbolism, let's get into it. So Virgo season happens from August 23rd to September 22nd. We are in a mutable earth sign now, and this is the end of a season, but more significantly, we are exiting out of summertime, which is symbolic of the solstice, summer solstice, the most outer time of the year. And Virgo is a sign that can be adaptable and movable into the autumn equinox. And so what can we say about that represents Virgo? So to really just break it down from the beginning, Virgo is at the time of year in the kind of seasonal cycle. This is getting into a bit seasonal wellness. So when we think about the springtime, we think of birth. It is the beginning. It is brand new, fresh energy. We just came out of a slumber from wintertime, and now Aries season is like this big spark of energy that wants to just strive, right? It's like that cardinal punch of initiating things. It wants to get inspired. It wants to start. And so that is exactly what happens in the springtime. We go through Taurus. We're actually understanding our sensations. We're understanding what we like and dislike, our values, what means something to us, what doesn't, what textures we like. All of that is speaking to Taurus. Gemini gets into kind of that one-on-one connection with people, right? Like when we're going about our life and we have siblings when we grow up, those are the people that we connect with first, we communicate with, we toy ideas back and forth, and we discover the world through their eyes, and we understand what it means to have partnership and what it means to really relate to people. And that can be quick, that can be sharp. And so that is Gemini season. We get to Cancer and it's like this overwhelmingly amazing time in nature where everything is flowering and beautiful, and there's this sensual kind of nurturing energy that happens because everything is in bloom, everything is available. And so when we're in Cancer season, because it is so outward, there is this focus to go inward and understand our home life, our inner belonging. And that can come up with a lot of emotions, a lot of family ties and family connections. That is Cancer season. So then we shift to Leo. It's this fire energy again. We've gone through already fire with Aries. Now we're at the fire of Leo, which is like the heart of the summertime. And these fixed signs, this is a little side note, fixed signs are almost, can be seen as the outermost and like most accurate expression of a season. So when we think of summer, it's kind of more likely that we're going to think of Leo season as the most the most accurate to summertime in terms of what it offers. It offers that heat. It offers that heart connection, like following your heart and following your heart desires. What do you desire is a huge summertime question, a huge summertime theme. And so we are in Leo season now. We're almost out of Leo season, so I'm recording this a little early so that we can get into Virgo before Virgo and you guys have everything you need for Virgo. But Leo is the season of just expression of self, the creative spark. And it's like you want to express yourself utmost and you want to follow your heart's desires utmost in the summertime. And I find that these connections are completely related to each other. In the summertime, that's what is supported, right? What is supported is being creative and getting back into like our childlike tendencies to be creative, what inspires us, following that inspiration, and being almost like playful about it, where we want to go swim all day long and just play and be our own soul, like be our souls and express from that place. And so what we can say Virgo is really the dying, and this might sound cynical, the dying of that youth, right? I've just kind of walked us through the whole gamut of the beginning of the year, and I like to call it the beginning of the year. I know that we're not accurately talking about the beginning of the year in terms of the Gregorian calendar, but I see spring as kind of the new year and the winter as the end of the year. It only makes sense to me. It really matches with life cycles in that way. If you think of Aries as birth and Pisces as death and kind of moving on to another spiritual realm, I see everything kind of symbolic in this way of aligning to that cyclical wheel. So what Virgo is to us is the saying goodbye to youth and saying hello to adulthood. We are now at, in terms of life cycles, Virgo would represent somewhat of a midlife area. So that would be like in your 50s. Like Cancer would be around 25 and Aries would be birth. So you've made it this whole time and now you can see both sides. Virgo is really at that area of seeing reality. Like I would say the word to describe Virgo is reality. Mercury. It can see this perspective and intellectual awareness of all of the capabilities of youth and all of the capabilities of adulthood and what that serves. I do think that Virgos do have this sight that not everyone has. And I think that it really does speak to mercurial elements of life in terms of kind of creating things. It still has that Leo energy in it because Leo is that strong fixed energy, so it phases out into Virgo. So it's like creating with your hands, and creating with the earth, and really finding that belonging in the earth is very Virgo. I would say gardening is like the most quintessential Virgo kind of thing that I've ever seen. And Virgo can be independent in that way because you have this perspective as a Virgo to understand what has happened and now what is ahead of you. It's very similar to Libra in the sense of seeing from all sides, and you're at the midway point of the sun's descent into the underworld, basically like utmost life, utmost death, or utmost light and utmost darkness. And so Libra also has that view, but it's a little bit more paced to begin other things and begin on that journey of like the adulthood versus kind of just observing and adapting. I would say that Virgo is the adaptable element of seeing everything from this perspective of this has happened in my life. These are my experiences. This is what I've created. And now I want to take what I've learned and situate it towards the world. And I think that that is one of the most beautiful elements of Virgo. And to have Mercury being the ruling sign of Virgo is very much telling as well in terms of the tendencies and how perfectionist and also really detail oriented and it's quick moving, but not quick moving in the sense of Gemini where there's air ruling it. Virgo is a bit more grounded in the sense of developing things. So it's like, I see Virgo also as like business owner energy. Like you've created this thing and you've made this thing with thought and determination and intellect, and now you're going to bring it into this kind of new life. It's like Virgo really is that new life connection of we've seen the reality of youth and now we're seeing the reality of adulthood, and I'm going to bring this in through practical, real, tangible ways. Okay, so now we are going to get into Virgo season forecast. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but I would love to talk through the forecast of Virgo season this year so that you can better understand the context of your tarot reading that will be coming up, and we can kind of just get into what to look out for. In terms of the overall astrology of Virgo season, just a general kind of statement, this is one of the busiest times of the year. In terms of astrology, we have like 2 T-squares going on. We have a Saturn-Jupiter square going on this Monday. We have a full moon happening at the same time. And then there's other dynamics happening and ending with that has to do with the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction that we had in Taurus back in, I want to say May. But it's a busy, busy time of year. It's a bit hectic right now. Obviously, these transits are going to affect you in different ways based on your birth chart. And I would be happy to supply you with the thing that I use, which is astro.com, to look at my birth chart and to see how these transits are actually affecting me personally. I have that linked below. If you do not know what your birth chart is, you really want to know, have that linked below in case you have not yet done that. This season, we can already say, because of the start of the season, I say that whenever a new zodiac season starts a specific way, it's going to be a little intense because The start of something kind of does set a tone, especially when there's moon cycles involved. Full moons really do represent kind of the peak time of year, which if you want to just like understand what that actually means, it's basically like the summer solstice moment. It also can be a time of like culminating things, having things come to an end, letting it go. And when we're talking about Virgo season and what that really represents, I mean, all of the mutable signs really have this awesome, dope energy of like adapting to the next thing. And so it's no wonder that in like mid-July or maybe a little bit towards the end of Leo season, we're kind of already feeling that the fall air, and we're already feeling the fall inspiration of like, ooh, I can't wait for like cozy pumpkin and tea. And by the way, I forgot that I had tea here. So we are feeling the energies of the new season. Virgo has this awareness of the other side of the year. And okay, it's about to get colder. It's like we do know that fall's ahead of us. We're getting excited for fall. It's kind of definitely in our perspective, right? There's no wonder for that. That's not on purpose. I think that's a human thing that during a certain time of year, you can sense in these mutable times of year that this is what's ahead, because it is a phasing of energy and it blends into each other, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So Virgo season, let's get into kind of the forecast. Just very generally, I'm going to list off the dates of the most significant transits that I'm seeing, just so you can put a mark on that, or just put a little pinpoint on that for yourself. If this is lighting up a certain area of your chart, that is going to be even more important for you. But in terms of just understanding what the energy is going to be like this season, I am just going to be naming off the specific transits that I think will play a role in the energy overall. So on the 22nd this year, Virgo, or the sun enters Virgo. So it is entering Virgo a day earlier than, I guess, the typical day. So sun enters Virgo, and this is coming right off. This is kind of significant to mention. This is coming right off of the full moon in Aquarius on the 19th. Also on the 19th, Jupiter square Saturn happening in Gemini and Pisces. These are also mutable energies. So we're basically getting this like pow energy, kind of challenging, not anything to be afraid of. Jupiter and Saturn are one of the most significant kind of dynamics of the entire zodiac. Jupiter is a benefic, Saturn is a malefic, and they are both the slowest moving of that category of planet. And so they have these long-term, long-lasting effects that are definitely situated around structures of life, systems, like foundations. So, of course, when we have a challenging aspect, like a 90-degree angle, this can be a little bit challenging. I don't want to call it anything else other than potentially challenging, because it's not like it's going to be turbulent. It's not like it's going to be groundbreaking, but you just never know. So you always want to be flexible with that energy, especially when we're talking about these placements that are in Gemini and Pisces. So the sun enters Virgo 2 days after we get this Jupiter square to Saturn. On August 28th, Mercury goes direct, which means that we are no longer in Mercury retrograde, which is awesome. Mercury retrograde in Leo has been happening, I think, for about a couple of weeks now, maybe even more than that. But that is an energy that will soon be in Virgo, and Virgo rules Mercury, Mercury rules Virgo. They are one and the same domicile energy. So that is going to be supportive of us this season, and it is happening, I think, a couple weeks after this. So Mercury goes direct August 28th. And immediately after that, Venus enters Libra. So we are getting these kind of new energies all of a sudden. Venus entering Libra, Sun entering Virgo. This is all going to be happening over, of course, days, but we are getting some ingresses, meaning the planet is moving into a new energy, a new sign. On September 1st, Uranus is going to be going retrograde in Taurus, and this is significant. Uranus is actually soon going to be leaving Taurus, and this only happens once every 7 years. So that is somewhat significant, a retrograde, and also a planet that has been making a lot of aspects to other planets. So that will be going retrograde September 1st. Pluto retrograde enters Capricorn on September 1st also. So a lot of slow-moving, retrograding, moving backwards energies around the beginning of September. On the 2nd, we have a new moon in Virgo. And on September 4th, Mars enters Cancer. Mars entering Cancer means that Mars is now in its fall. And we know that because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. And so whatever the opposite is means that it is the opposite of exalted in the opposite sign. So Mars being in its fall in Cancer is really just gonna make Mars tendencies uncomfortable. So if you are somebody ruled by Mars, or if you have Cancer placements, you might want to just look out for this. It's just going to be a bit of a more difficult energy to, it's not going to feel natural, I guess. Mars, elements of life, meaning will and determination, forward-moving momentum, challenge, conflict, healthy back and forth challenge. Those things might feel a little bit off this Virgo season. We then get Mercury entering Virgo on September 9th. So Mercury is already direct at this point. And then it enters its domicile. So that's a good energy that will definitely help with the Mars in Cancer energy. Mercurial things like business and processes, systems, transportation, communication will feel a lot more normal and a lot more streamlined around the state. We then end Virgo season with a full moon partial lunar eclipse on September 17th. And this is interesting. I don't have a lot to say about this right now. Other than that, this full moon is happening in Pisces. It is going to be somewhat near Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so full moon lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 17th. September 22nd, we have the sun entering Libra. So that is the forecast of Virgo season. And of course, a lot of challenging, somewhat, I guess, chaotic energies happening, but also some supportive energies happening as well. So this is not a bad thing. I would never say this is going to be a difficult season. I would say that it's that end of summer kind of energy picking up, and I think as Virgo moves into the air sign of Libra, and maybe these retrogrades and the Mercury retrogrades, something that we feel in our day-to-day, are letting up and actually in their domicile energy being normal, it might feel a little bit more easy towards the end of Virgo season. But then, of course, it is eclipse season. So we have to be on the lookout for that. As some of you know, Mercury retrogrades and eclipse seasons can have similar energy, other than eclipse seasons tend to be a little bit more chaotic. And not chaotic, but in terms of not being able to see an outcome, or kind of volatile energy. So that's just something to be aware of. Nothing bad. Astrology is never bad nor good. It's just, it is what it is. We've lived our whole lives. I'm sure a lot of us have lived our lives without knowing the astrology transits, and things turned out okay. So never take these kind of transits as like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. It really isn't. It is just simply something to be aware of, because it might be something subtle that you notice, or it might be something that you really notice. And it's just so awesome that we have the ability to do that and compare it to our own chart and see how we can actually work with this energy versus letting it feel like we're being controlled by it. Alrighty, so we are going to get into the tarot reading for Virgo season for all signs. So you will be able to find the timestamps below. We are going to just get right into Aries now. So I am going to switch up my camera view so that you can see the tarot, and we will just get right into it. Okay, hello Aries. Welcome to your tarot reading for Virgo season. I've never done this kind of reading before. Other than when my sister and I were doing Venus Report, our podcast, which is still on YouTube. We are just paused right now. So I'm just gonna tap into Aries. Okay. So I have set the intention for the top row to be lifestyle and the bottom row to be business, career, anything that has to do with kind of purpose and driving that into the future. So the first thing I'm getting from this reading is really just this idea that you have been kind of in a self-reflection place, but not necessarily like self-nurturing. It's more like you've been doing your own kind of isolation or reflecting on things, but it's not necessarily taking care of yourself. It's almost like I'm almost sensing like guilt, frustration, really recalibrating something, but there's like this frustration involved. And I'm seeing kind of just this lack of awareness in terms of what could be happening, or this is about something that you thought was going to be happening. But of course we end with Page of Pentacles, which is always good news, hearing about something new, hearing about something that could be promising. So at the end of this, I find that we are ending with kind of a promise. But I am now also being drawn back to the Hermit and seeing this as actually more positive. So it's like you could be isolating for good reason. But I think either way, there's this kind of lack of kind of self-nurturing, care. Again, I'm feeling just like that aggravation, frustration. When it comes to career and business, I don't want to draw connection to things that might not be connected, but it does seem like there was like a letdown of some sort, or there is kind of this frustration, letdown that causes you to go inward. But the real message here is like, have hope. Like there's something ahead, and there is this kind of message of like healing, like there could be some healing involved. And this I find connection to with the Queen of Cups lacking. There's this that I think that the Star card is really helping you with. And it's almost like this victimizing energy of like, this happened to me, so now I want to go inward. But there is hope here, and I think that you're feeling weak right now, but it is not, it is temporary, 100% temporary. And I think in terms of, if we're looking at lifestyle, business, or career, I think that there is a lot of potential happening in terms of career. It feels like there's something being offered to you after a time of maybe hopelessness. And there's a sense of like you might feel incapable or like undeserving of it right now. But the overall feeling is you deserve it. Like this is you deserving of that. So yeah, Aries, I think that you have some potential going on. And I want to just clarify with one last card for you. And this is the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Alias. As some of you might have heard of Mundi Herbals, this is her deck. Just one passing, I guess, last message for Aries for Virgo season. What does Aries need to hear right now? Calendula. Purity. So this is number 1. Calendula and purity. I will read you the symbolism here. So upright, innocence, childlike joy, humility, purity, new beginnings, trusting in life, and vitality. Wow, if this couldn't be more accurate to you, Aries, I don't know what is. Guidance. Calendula resembles the sun, a radiant bright yellow or orange flower. It grows easily and spreads its joyful self across gardens, symbolizing the gesture of universal abundance. Solar herbs are those that neutralize poison and aid in the recuperation of vital forces. Calendula's gentle and abundant power reminds us of the realms of light. To be allowed entry within these angelic realms requires childlike innocence and humility. Don't allow pain from the past to disable your ability to dream a new life. Calendula represents the pure impulse to create, vitality, and creativity needed to step into a new journey. The radiance of Calendula is a superconductor. Be very aware and selective with your intentions when using her energy within a ritual, as she greatly amplifies your intentions. Wow. So this humility is really, really feeling like this is like your message from this, and this. And I just feel like you are being drawn to really encapsulate that innocent energy that you have so naturally. And I think that when you focus in on that creativity and that vitality to just create something from your heart and maybe go inward to kind of figure out what that is, that is where your power is going to be, and you will have offers and news that resemble having this hope by taking on this creativity. So I really love that for you, Aries. And we are going to get into Taurus now. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your Virgo reading. Your Virgo season reading. What does Taurus need to hear for Virgo season? I hope you've had a beautiful fire sign season of Leo. Okay, so I've set the intention for the top row to be communicating your lifestyle for Virgo season, and the bottom row to be about business, career, purpose, future, and elements like that. So what I'm first seeing here is kind of this imbalance of passion and boldness, kind of like the driver for you, whatever that means. There seems to be an imbalance of this passion, and it's making it so that you're just like, you're not having a good time in this like fulfilling of purpose or business career. This could also, it doesn't necessarily have to resemble your career this season, but it's like there's something that is being worked on behind the scenes that feels like it is making it just not fun anymore. There's like this imbalance of passion for what you're doing, or this imbalance of fire that you feel that you're connected with, that is giving you a lack of enjoyment in what you're doing. And when you think about fire energy, it's like if we are all kind of connected, right? And we're all a part of the same kind of story, and everything has its place. When we all look to the fire within ourselves, if that is no longer a part of something, then it truly is going to make everything kind of feel lacking and just a little bit like unnecessary. Like I'm sensing this kind of like this need for shifting, this need for changing. And I think if you felt different about whatever this is, there would be kind of a quicker progression towards feeling like the bold, sensual goddess kind of thing that you are. That is what I'm seeing for kind of lifestyle. I'm kind of wanting to ask a little bit more about the business and or career side of things. Oops. And like what you can look forward to. But I'm seeing like a heavy focus on passions. Okay, we've got metamorphosis. Oops. Woo! Yeah, there's something here that feels like it's like moving along, but there's like a lack of passion, a lack of, I guess, like motivation in a sense. But if there was that, then it would kind of move along and you would be feeling better about it. All right, so we are going to do 2 cards for this. This is Metamorphosis. Pau di Arco. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Ayusaka? Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. But number 7, Metamorphosis, and number 50, Rebirth. I could see that already, that symbolism there. Okay. Discovery through darkness, transcendence of the unknown, unearthing fear, nonconformity, and breaking cycles. Lapacho. Is this right? Yeah. Lapacho is one of the great protectors of the sacred, and she is welcoming you in, archetypally. Pau de Arco embodies one of the faces of the dark goddess in her mighty splendor. The dark goddess in multifaceted, challenging belief systems, frailties, weaknesses, and testing our strengths. Like Pluto, Lepatro demands your rebel against the ignorance of the old self and learned paradigms that inhibit the splendor of your self-expression. Her mighty darkness provides the tools to rebuild ourselves anew, triggering instant metamorphosis. Don't fear the unknown nature of mystery. The cosmic womb in its darkness births all hidden potentials into existence. Trust and step in. You are being guided. This, I am seeing, really relate to these two cards. Like, there seems to be kind of a rebelling against the self, but like this self-expression and this like this inhibit the splendor of your self-expression is really speaking to me with these two cards. I think that very much like Aries, focusing in on the creative elements of life, being re-inspired by something is actually going to do you more good. And it's going to feel like less weight to carry. 50. Let's see. Rebirth. Another rebirth. Mastery, great revelation, discovery of higher self, meeting with the creatrix, divine messenger, gifts from spirit, realization, telepathy, and transcendence. You are mastering the power of awareness when aligning to a higher power. Ayahuasca? Spirit, gosh, I'm so sorry. Spirit is here to support your ascension, drawing upon an ancient wisdom embedded in your DNA and the earth. Allow yourself to be shattered as you travel through the cosmic womb. This catalyzes purification through a cathartic release of the known, only to reveal undiscovered terrain within your soul. You are one with the magnetic brilliance of Source, the intelligence that orchestrates the great mystery. Feeling lost in the labyrinths only come when a loss of intentionality or respect happens. Offer your greatest intentions, sacrifice your needs, enter into the void without expectation, and allow yourself to be consumed by the oceanic consciousness. Remember, dear one, that to heal the world, you must heal yourself. You are the source of love. So this is really very similar to this card to me, the message. And it feels like there's like a cathartic undergoing right now. And something having to do with your passion, something that like might feel just like a loss. All it needs to be is just reinvigorated. And I think that you're going to feel much, much, much better about it. And I think it's going to move you forward. So happy Virgo season. We are going to move on to Gemini. Hello, Gemini. This is your Virgo season reading. I hope that you've had a beautiful Leo season. Okay. This is definitely an interesting one, Gemini. So the first thing I'm really feeling for Virgo season is this idea of like rebirth through humility and understanding the areas that you have felt humiliated and why. And it's almost giving me like wanting to kind of go through a rebirth in order to redefine yourself and really have like new energy come in. It feels very much like this is very heavy with swords energy, like air energy. And yeah, I feel like maybe you right now feel like things are in a direction of kind of like defeat in a way. But things tend to be ending right before there's kind of this new beginning. And I'm almost getting like this energy here of like, this is bound to happen always. It was always bound to happen. But this is almost like anxiety around it. Like this Ace of Wands moment of you feeling like renewed and like a new person has a lot of anxiety around it. And you almost feel like this kind of tendency to really redefine yourself and like really go through what that means for you. And obviously I'm seeing a lot of just like submitting to kind of the reality of your anxiety, which I would love to give you just some hope in that sense. Maybe there's something that you can do better or just do to help everything align a little bit easier. So let's just give it a shuffle. I'm using the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Elias. She is the owner of Anima Mundi Herbals, if you guys have ever heard of them. I love them. What does Gemini need to hear for Virgo season? Psilocybin. I think maybe. I think that's it. Okay, psilocybin. We are looking at commune. So, upright, communing with the sacred, connecting to otherworldly energy, remote viewing, regeneration through union, coming together with a tribe, finding cosmic family. Wow. Okay. Guidance. Los Niños Santos have come to tell you that they have arrived to your place of power. They are beacons of light on earth and offer psychic healing on a collective level. Los Niños Santos are asking you to tune in and commune with the ancestors and powers that be to further develop your power. Psilocybin floods our body with light codes, loosening the knots we volunteer to protect through the journey of life. Don't resist the profound teachings. Relax into the higher mind as you commune with its loving awareness. As you find home within commune with others and experiences that support you, connect to nature and the extensive community of energies that are lovingly there awaiting your conscious arrival. Commune with the spirits and channel the wisdom provided with sure-footed spontaneity. Okay, so I am seeing this kind of action when it comes to nature and understanding that like nature is always there for you. It almost feels like there's like a forgetfulness of kind of the things that you can do to help anxiety this season. And I'm seeing nature as the answer and kind of moving back. Like this is almost giving me rebirth into nature. Like that is going to come from going into nature. and this feeling of defeat and anxiety will diminish when you find that community, and whether that's speaking to people or speaking with nature, your spirit guides, that is where I'm seeing the goodness come in for you, Gemini. In terms of business, this really does feel like a time where like it feels like more is going to come from resting than not resting at this time. It feels like there's something that could have happened that was just a bit humiliating and or just like a lot to deal with in Leo season. And now it is time to rest, and if anything, go into nature and really speak to spirit, like really have that connection with spirit, because I think that this is going to come from doing that and being aware of what that is for you. So thank you so much for watching this, and now we are going to get into Cancer. Cancer, here is your Virgo reading. What does Cancer need to hear for Virgo season? Ooh, okay. Okay, Cancer. So, immediately I am getting the sense of, are my efforts paying off? And that is very telling to me. I am seeing kind of this recognition, though, in terms of what is going to come from that feeling. It does not feel like a lasting thing. This feeling of like, are my efforts paying off, definitely feels temporary and almost feels a bit accurate to the energies of the new moon. And the energies of the full moon really are signaling right now. Another point of that is here. It's like there's something where like you are leaving something. It seems like something is definitely ending, but there is something actually also starting, and it feels a little bit more like aligned with who you want to be. And I'm getting that from these three cards. The Two of Cups, Knight of Cups, and King of Cups. It feels like you are making headway into a specific area of life that is also altering the feeling you feel of like frustration. Like something is just like not working out. I'm getting a lot of this in these readings, and it might be because of Mercury retrograde. Like there's a frustration happening. But it definitely feels like you are walking away from something, but there's something else coming in. So it definitely seems like there's something else coming in for you at the same time that there is a walking away from something that's frustrating, that you thought was promising, that you put a lot of work into. And so, yeah, there's this kind of like reality of walking away. I am going to shuffle a little bit more into the oracle, the herbal astrology oracle, to get a little bit of an idea of what else we need to hear right now for Cancer in Virgo season. Whoa! Okay. Rishi, and this is called Retreat. So we are on 27. Let's see. Retreat, recovery, meditation, hibernation, spiritual contemplation, replenishment of spirit. Pause. It's time for renewal. If you feel overwhelmed or mentally overloaded, it's time to retreat. Take the time to recuperate and recharge, and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and indecision lead to a sense of weakness, imprisonment, and a feeling that you are evading death. Like bear, hibernate, or rest, make before you take on the next project or challenge. Rest before you take on the next project or challenge. Many Native American tribes have called this space of inner contemplation the Dream Lodge, a place where to witness death and see beyond the confines of physical reality by visiting the dream time. Create the space to be in silence and calm the internet chatter. Reflection is key to the path of self-mastery. Wow, so I definitely see this card relating to what this is really trying to tell you during Virgo season. It does sound like or feel like something is starting and you've potentially agreed to start that. And it is giving you confidence because you're moving towards something that is aligned with your heart and like what is aligned with you. But there is kind of a takeaway of like, let's relax and retreat before this even starts so that you are kind of optimizing everything in a way. So I really love that reading for you, Cancer. Thank you for listening. And we are moving on to Leo. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. Okay. So, first thing I was sensing was this idea of time and like patience. And there's obviously some indications here of challenge and like kind of proving yourself, and I'm definitely seeing kind of an ending of that. There could be something you're choosing that is not aligning with kind of your utmost goal of stability. So whatever kind of relates back to your values of wealth, like how you see wealth and stability, there's something that you could be choosing that's not really aligning with that. And it's actually showing. It's like showing in a way of like you're not really in your utmost expression, which I would say is you, Queen of Wands, Leo. So there's just like somewhat of like there's something not being followed, and it's allowing this to express itself in this way. But I think that the moment you kind of understand that patience is needed for this, whatever this is, you won't have to feel like you have to prove yourself so much, and it's just going to kind of flow naturally. Yeah, it feels like because you're choosing this, you're walking away from something that actually really means a lot to you and is like really actually serving you. And I would love to give you kind of a takeaway from this. It feels like something that is in your control though. Like this feels like something that can totally be fixed and can be within your control if you were to like let go of the proving. Like it's almost like giving like self-inflicted and it's causing you to not feel patient about it. So I am shuffling from the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Alias. She owns Anima Mundi Herbals. And I love this deck that I barely get to use, so I am using it for Virgo readings. This feels like your message. Palo Santo Guardian. I love that. 55. Okay. Gifts from past lives. Activating dormant gifts, connecting to the ancestors, guardian of the sacred trickster. Interesting. Palo Santo is a protective wand that grants us the power of unlocking innate gifts that have laid dormant, inactive, or blocked. Palo Santo, like the fox, is here to assist you as a spirit guide who helps you to navigate the spirit world. The Cetra fox is native to South America and nestle among the desert forest of Palo Santo for shelter, living in symbiosis with these precious trees. Foxes are symbolic of the afterlife, invisibility, and the sacred trickster. Palo Santo neutralizes the venom of the dark tricksters and alchemizes its poison into gold, becoming the sacred trickster. Palo Santo is here to remind you to activate your dormant gifts. You are a guardian of the sacred that has walked many paths. Know that you can neutralize the greatest of poisons and even outwit the smartest of tricksters. Really, really interesting. It's just interesting that, like, we're seeing this, like, innate gift in you, and it weirdly feels like something that you could be choosing, but, like, unknowingly it's, like, not helping you. And I'm getting trickster vibes from this. So it's like your innate wisdom lies in what you are choosing, but you could be choosing something that just hasn't been really giving you that stability and that wealth factor that you've been wanting, and therefore it's like it's time to shift that, like go back inward. It's like this might be a sign to kind of go back inward, like leave what this is, understand what that is for you. And I think that these cards would then go upright and you won't feel like you have to be proving yourself. So I hope that served you, Leo. Thank you for listening to the Virgo reading, and I will see you next month. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. And happy early birthday. Okay, Virgo. So, the first thing I'm seeing is a hard truth. There's a hard truth with something that has to do with foundational stability. Your sense of give and take. You might even feel like there's a hard truth around how you feel about that in your own life. Like there might be a situation that feels like unfair in terms of this kind of give and take energy of resources. And you almost might feel like you have no sense of kind of that connection to manifestation or that connection to providing those resources for your own life, for your own stability, but you do. You are a like slow growing learner, and you do things very grounded and strategically. And so I'm getting this sense that like you're not seeing this power that you have, and this power that you've always had, and the power that could make this upright, you know? the power of you like living in your Empress energy is just unseen to you right now. It definitely feels like there's something that is like lost of a tradition, like there's like a lost sense of kind of doing things. Maybe you're doing something that's a little bit like out of the ordinary to make money, or you're doing something that feels not typically how someone would go about like obtaining a resource. But there is this sense of like believing. It's like this believing of yourself, believing in yourself will allow this to be upright. The Empress energy, you're living in almost abundance and wealth and feeling like yourself, like you are the source of that for you. Definitely feels like something is supporting you in this though, and like as long as you are able to believe in yourself and like somehow cut through this like disbelief that you aren't deserving or you aren't in balance with things, that's going to allow you to feel like the Empress. I'm going to ask for a little bit more clarity into what you can do this month to feel like you have kind of a sense of where you're going with this and what you can do with this. So we are shuffling from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. Virgo. Ginkgo. Breakthrough. I love that. Let's see what the message is for this card. Okay. Upright. The dawn of a new mind. New ideas, visionary thinking, mental clarity, and resilience. The sword of truth held by the hand of God. Wow. Was I not just saying there's a truth? Okay. Rises from the clouds, signaling a moment of breakthrough. This double-edged sword is encircled by a golden crown, symbolizing the victory of transcendence over illusion. Both ginkgo and raven are ancient guardians of Earth, both symbolizing the strength and resilience required to protect the ethereal realm, the source of magic. If ginkgo has appeared in your spread today, you are about to experience a total breakthrough, a revolutionary change in consciousness. Bring the light of dawn to the ongoing cycles of darkness within yourself, or those experienced on Earth. Stay dynamic and fluid and don't allow negativity to cloud your judgment. Wow. How accurate could that be? Like, that couldn't be any more accurate. Your judgment is clouded. And that it's basically just showing you that, like, you are this strong Knight of Pentacles. And the moment you start believing that and disbelieving the illusions about yourself, your situation, you will turn this Empress upright. And that is a beautiful thing because it is all in your hands, Virgo. So thank you so much for hanging out with me with this reading. And we are going to move on to Libra. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. I'm excited to give you some clarity on Virgo season, what you can do with your lifestyle to best align yourself with the energies. Okay. Libra. The first thing that is coming to my mind is emotions. Like your emotional awareness. And like this feeling of like missing friends. Like you might be missing people or missing old connections. It's almost like this kind of stubborn energy. I'm getting like daydreamy. Like you might be caught in like a daydream, and there's kind of this like higher authority here that is like, hey, you need to kind of be doing this, but there's kind of this like daydream that is kind of keeping you in this past state, or just like this past energy that I don't know if that is resonating, but it feels like there's somewhat of a stubborn energy here. I do feel like Virgo season has the potential to be really fun for you. But I think it's going to take, like, it's going to be something about taking something a little bit more seriously that could give you this kind of good time. And I'm seeing like family, like there's something with family that is really standing out to me here. But there is this overarching kind of like, hey, this needs to be happening. But this daydream might actually be a part of what's really driving you right now. And it is giving me like, this daydream is actually more enjoyable than reality or something. And it's actually really inspiring to you, but it's not, it hasn't given you that kind of like reality check yet. Like it's kind of like this reality check. But I also am seeing like this new idea happening based on these daydreams. It's like a reminiscent, nostalgic daydream. And you might be feeling like it's distracting you, or someone's making you feel like it's distracting you, but it's actually going to result in like a really good idea. And like you're going to have just like a good idea coming from this. So I'm going to shuffle. Just give you a little bit more clarity on how you can work with this energy. Okay, passion flower. So we are looking at 43. Passion flower, surrender. Sacrifice, surrender, choosing growth, trusting discernment, rituals of letting go. Passion flower symbolizes surrender, sacrifices, and the crucifixion of the ego. Passion flower resembles the need to sacrifice in order to make space and move forward. The all-seeing double-headed owl symbolizes the great understanding perceived from both sides, whether it be upside down or inside out, and bestows goddess passion flower with unseen truths as she performs rituals for letting go. Owl is symbolic of discernment and able to light up what's needed to be seen. Passion flower today might reflect the need to suspend actions that aren't aligned to your spiritual path. Are there certain decisions or action you've made that you must sacrifice in order to reassess your direction? Honor your intuition. It's okay if projects or original ideas come to an unexpected halt. Discernment is key to experience greater truth and opportunities. So now this is really, really becoming evident to me. It's almost like your discernment, or like you've maybe had to sacrifice something and it felt really not aligned with you. But like there's ideas happening. Like you have an idea, and you may have had to sacrifice something, and it felt really, really disheartening to let go of the idea. But I almost think that the honoring your intuition and having discernment to experiencing the greater truth and opportunity here is your message. Like the discernment, having that discernment and seeing, being able to see what is for you and what is not for you. So whatever this is, this sounds very exciting and very interesting. So thank you, Libra, for being here. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful Virgo season. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your Virgo reading. We are going to get into best practices for lifestyle, business, purpose. Interesting. Okay. So Scorpio, we have a lot of like kind of this forward facing energy here. So what I'm really feeling from this is almost like a reflection of inner self and a reflection of your outer self at play. This really does feel like a business in terms of like business and I guess like outer representation of self, legacy, and inner world. So you may come off in whatever work that you do, you may be coming off as kind of this Queen of Swords energy. Like you may be obviously an emotional person inside, like at heart, and you're a Scorpio, you are a water sign, so that is no surprise to me. But you may be representing yourself in a way that is actually helping you, but you might not actually feel that way inside, in terms of you're here, so you are really kind of representing yourself as this like Queen of Pentacles energy. You're confident in what you can do. You actually might be having opportunities take place where you are partnering and things seem to be going in much alignment with like your goals. But inside you might not feel this way. You might actually feel like it's like a mirror, but like the mirror is when you see yourself in the mirror, you see kind of this like in areas, I guess like a lack of awareness and a lack of awareness around your foundations, and you might not actually feel like how you represent yourself. I'm just really seeing that. I could obviously read this in a different way and say, okay, you are experiencing some kind of themes of give and take in your financial life. And there's some kind of imbalance with that. Like you might feel like you are either giving too much or you are receiving too much for what you're doing. And you might have this sense of like, oh my God, what I do is so awesome. Like I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. It's like that energy. Like I'm either deserving or I'm not deserving of this because it's so awesome, or it's like the counter of that. And then I'm just seeing this like very strong truth telling like representation. I don't know why I'm seeing this as like a representation, but it's not really how you feel. It's not really what it is, but this is happening. You might actually be receiving kind of like partnerships this month in Virgo season. It's very accessible to you. Like the earth energy is accessible to you, and you don't need, if you need to hear this, you don't need to represent yourself in this like Queen of Swords energy. You, as kind of this emotional, aware person, is enough. That's enough for what you do. So yeah, I want to give you some more clarity on where you can take this energy. Oh God. This month through the Herbal Astrology Oracle. I would love to just give you some takeaways. Ooh. Coca. Okay. So we've got foresight. Number 36. Let's see. 36. Supernatural powers, ability to see universal truth, genius, spiritual guidance, brilliance, integrity, impeccability. I love that word. Guidance. The mighty jaguar is the spirit animal to many great medicine peoples in the rainforest. The jaguar has been regarded as one of the fierce protectors of the sacred and seen as a bridge to the upper worlds or messenger from the realms of spirit. Coca's lightning-like energy has appeared today, signaling the piercing clarity, foresight, and power you have available to you right now. Jaguar spirit rewards you rewards you as you stay true to your integrity. That is a typo right there. In moments where you could easily give it away, stay true to your integrity in moments where you could easily give it away. Don't reject innate gifts you were born with. Cultivate them and don't shy away from their magnificent power. The power of Jaguar is that of the great shaman, able to assist in soul work and journeying to retrieve aspects of your power that have been forgotten or remained latent. Wow. Wow. Okay, so this is really just, to me now, clarifying that your innate gifts lie in the Knight of Cups. And this Queen of Swords energy is kind of a representation of what you think you need to be, but you really don't. You really don't. But this is kind of your outer world this month, and you could be receiving partnerships, and you could be seen as kind of this Queen of Pentacles energy, and it might feel really good because this is aligned with you, but you might feel like there's an imbalance with resources and or like your ability to, I guess, give and take your own abilities. Like, how do you portray your own abilities? This is basically saying you have everything you need. You don't even need to act like this to get the Empress upright and to feel like the Queen of Pentacles and to feel like this abundant energy of partnership and giving and receiving. So, Scorpio, that is your message for Virgo season. I hope that made sense. And I wish you the best Virgo season. And I will talk to you next month. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. I'm excited for Virgo season. I'm into the fall mood. Okay. Wow. Okay, so if we are looking at the moon and the sun, and they are encapsulated by this energy of kind of emotional settling for less and extended grief, regret, this is an interesting way of seeing something, I think. I think that there's a truth coming out, and there's possibly a feeling of, again, settling for less within that truth, or seeing that truth and choosing to stay within it. As the Sun card shows up in your inner world, though, there's possibly a sense that everything is going to be okay, but you might just need to rest. You might just need to actually rest and take in what you've just experienced and understand that rest is needed here. There could just be two sides of you that feel indifferent about this truth, or feel like there's, again, like this, you feel both ways about something that has happened, and it's just kind of a bummer, but you feel somewhat positive in one way and somewhat negative in one way. In terms of your outer world, this definitely feels like something that you're inspired to explore, right? But your unhealthy attachments, or the things that might be like tempting to you, are causing you to maybe do a little bit of soul searching. It feels like this reading of the inner world is definitely a reflection of what it might seem to the outer world. Like you might actually at heart feel excited about things. Like there's like a new thing that feels exploring. It feels like you want to explore like a new idea. But because of kind of the way that you might go about new ideas, or the way that you might go about things like that, you come off like you are still in this self-exploring state, and it's not exactly it's like you are coming off like you might just be really self-reflective in your work life, your outer world, but it's because you're kind of dealing with something that you feel two different ways about. You feel good about something and somewhat, I don't want to say bad about something. You just feel two different ways about an issue. But you're excited about something happening in your outer life, but you do need time to self-reflect on it, and or just like get clear on that. I would love to do more of a specific reading on this, so I'm going to give you some clarity. With the Herbal Oracle deck. Rishi reversed. 27. Let's see. Reversed. Silence, recovery, time to pause, overstimulation, stress, deterioration nearing burnout. Wow. Okay, well, that really, really says something. That's interesting. And this astrological rulership is Jupiter and the Sun, which is interesting that we have the Sun here. Pause. It's time for renewal. If you feel overwhelmed or mentally overloaded, it's time to retreat. Retreat. Take the time to recuperate and recharge, and personal growth will follow. Overstimulation and indecision lead to a sense of weakness, imprisonment, and a feeling that you are evading death. Like a bear, hibernate or rest before you take on the next project or challenge. Many Native American tribes have called this space of inner contemplation, the Dream Lodge, a place where to witness death and see beyond the confines of physical reality by visiting the dream time. Create the space to be in silence and calm the internet chatter. Reflection is key to the path of self-mastery. So this is really, 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 really speaking to you to self-reflect. Yeah, I think that this is needed right now. You're already self-reflecting right now with how you feel about what has happened. Like, you feel definitely a dichotomy of two different things about a specific situation. But you feel excited about something in the outer world. Your habits might be, or like maybe even just like this distraction, this temptation to feel into what this is at all times might be calling you to be a little bit more self-reflected right now versus like out and about and openly talking about what you're excited about. You might just have to figure out a little bit more about what this is, what this idea is, or what this exciting thing is before you take it on. There's definitely a need for rest and recuperation. Okay, so thank you so much, Sagittarius, for listening to this reading. I hope you have a beautiful Virgo season. Hello, Capricorn. I hope you had a beautiful Leo season. Okay, first things first, I'm definitely feeling like you don't know if something's gonna work. You just really don't know if something's gonna work. I think that you believe it can work, and you know it can work. Like, you can see this working out. You can see whatever this is really working out for you. But I have a feeling that you might not portray that in whatever this is outwardly. Like, this is like your inner world. I didn't mention this, but we are doing a reading kind of on your inner world, how you're feeling inside, and how things are going outside, how you might outwardly represent yourself this Virgo season. So it really does feel like you are in that in-between space in like a manifestation. Like, that's the best way I can describe what this feels like. Your confidence is there. Your confidence is always there, let's be honest, Capricorn. You've always had the confidence, but there's something that is kind of holding you back in a sense of this belief system, is what I'm kind of getting. But you're somewhat acknowledging that you're not believing it, and it's almost like you might be waiting for time to pass, for like a better time to do this. But I think this indecision is causing you to find ways for like escapism, like find different ways to get your mind off of this. And it's obviously not great, but I think it's also just possibly causing a delay in the outward expression of this, whatever this is for you. It definitely feels like you know you can do something though. You know you have something, but you're a little bit susceptible right now to reality. It's like a little bit uncomfortable, and it's like you're susceptible to what that could mean for you. So I'm gonna ask a little bit of clarity, and obviously this feels like something that's already going to happen. Like it's bound to happen. It just might not be the right time for it right now. It just really might not be the right time for it right now. Mandrake. That is very Capricorn of the deck to bring that out, because it's roots, and it's all about the underworld roots. So we've got sensuality here with Mandrake. 43, 45, 45. Sensuality, discovering new forms of intimacy, finding the inner beloved, expression of healthy sexuality and abundance. Okay. Mandrake is here to ask you to find new forms of intimacy. Ask yourself, what inspires bliss, joy, and passion in my life? Notice how you relax into flow and more easily attract what you need and desire when you focus on energy givers such as joy. Mandrake is here to assist you in liberating unchanneled creativity and sensuality, releasing energy from the sacral center and activating your pleasure centers for experiencing a higher form of love. Don't allow unworthiness, fear of rejection, and inhibition of pleasure to stop you from experiencing higher love. Focus on giving your gifts to the world with overwhelming passion and opening up to receive fully and fearlessly. Okay, so the message here is definitely to open up, right? So the best way I can relate this message to what we have here is like, really, instead of feeling the fear of rejection, of, being defensive in a specific way, like all of that energy is what you definitely feel inside, but it is not supportive of where you want to go, for sure. Where you actually want to be going is King of Cups upright. It's like that is what you want to be encapsulating and like really capitalizing on, is your ability to feel and have emotional intelligence with people and things in whatever this is. And it is bound to happen. It is literally a matter of time. But it's like self-doubt. There's self-doubt here. And I think that the more that you follow your joy, follow the things that really invigorate your passion, all of this will dissipate, and you will be able to have this moment, this 6, or what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Wands moment, where you are valued in the way that you see yourself as. So follow your sensuality, follow what brings you joy, follow that like Venus yin energy, wherever that is making you feel the most lit up, I think is your message for Virgo season. So thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. I hope you have a beautiful Virgo season ahead of you, and I will see you next month. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your Virgo season reading. The question I want to ask you is, do you enjoy the fall? Do you enjoy the fall? I have a feeling that you do, but you feel a sense of somewhat sadness. There's like one more card. I have not done this at all. Felt like I had one more card for you, and I do. Okay, Aquarius. You've got 7 cards here. I have only ever gotten 6 for the rest, so you have a little bit of a different message today. Virgo season, your inner world is the top row here. So we might be experiencing a form of something with leadership in terms of how you're viewing your life right now. The best way I can describe that is it almost feels like taking a back seat and just enjoying right now. Like you're not really interested in like leading and being kind of this like outward established kind of like top of the pyramid kind of energy. It feels like you are really wanting to enjoy what you have going on, enjoy what you're doing. There's nothing really too specific about that I'm getting from this. Your outer world, it feels like you might feel uninspired by what is going on outside, and like there's nothing new right now, and that's fine. But I think that you really thrive when there's new things going on, Aquarius. Like you really thrive when there's a lot of newness. And all you can really do right now is like enjoy yourself. I'm getting like the little things that make you feel cozy. Like I'm getting the vibe of like fall and enjoying the fall things, like being inside and watching movies. Like that's what it feels like is going to be really fulfilling to you this month. But you also get this I guess like maybe this like uncomfortable antsiness during this time of year, where you feel like there's maybe nothing moving forward in the way that you would want. But Virgo season definitely has something in store for you. So there could be something in Virgo season that like somewhat falls apart. I feel like due to lack of like accuracy and the lack of planning, or like lack of proper planning, there could be something that kind of falls by the wayside, and like it's just almost like a missed thing. So this is really interesting also that I'm seeing is like there's some sort of like missed opportunity and or lack to like make something happen. There's just an overall lacking of like determination in terms of making this thing happen for you in this outer experience in Virgo season. But what I find really interesting is you see how these people are like resurrected from the dead, and this is the death card. So we have the death card here, which is really just speaking to a total transformation of something, cleansing, a release, and then the judgment is really speaking to kind of the awakening, the hearing the final verdict, the resurrection. So it's like a total change of life. It's like a new life. So there is something ahead here where it's like there's going to be a transformation within this outer feeling of like lack of motivation, lack of just like, there's a delay, there's something that just didn't happen, it didn't work out, it didn't pan out. In your outer world, there is definitely going to happen of like this transformation into this new paradigm, like a new feeling about life, which I definitely love for you. I am going to shuffle a little bit further into the oracle to get a better idea of what this could specifically mean for you. Skullcap, stillness. 47. Stillness after the storm. Let go of control. Trust in life. Surrender to the divine. Break open. The storm has passed. You've just weathered, or you are weathering a storm. Ground deeply into the present moment. If you feel fear, find consolidation. Or find consolation in stillness as it readapts. The medicine of Scorpion embodies the stillness of darkness, and it assists by accepting sudden change with ease and calm. Sudden change. If you're feeling exhausted, drained, or depleted, this is the time to pause and withdraw to your cave. You're in the process of rebuilding after the storm. Don't rush, reflect. Take the time to birth a new structure that supports a new version of yourself. That is very, very, very telling. So, do you see how also Aquarius, this head is like breaking open, and it's like a new kind of, I guess, plant, but it's also giving just like new life. So there's something that is feeling just meh to you. This is the overall reading. This feeling of meh is going to change in Virgo season outwardly, and it is going to happen like as if there's a storm, and this is like the calm and the stillness after the storm, and this is going to bring on this new form of life, this new inspiration for life. And I really, really love that for you, because I think that you want to step into this Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands energy, this inspired, fiery, fun, but stable energy. And you know that this is you. You know that that's for you, but it's going to just take some inspiration. So I really love this reading for you, Aquarius. Thank you for listening in, and I hope that you have a beautiful Virgo season. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your Virgo reading, the sign across from you. We are going to be talking through your inner world this season, as well as your outer world and what you can expect. Okay. So we've got this like pyramid of sword energy, air energy, which I find interesting. And we've got the Magician, the trump card in your middle outer world. So let me just kind of feel into this for a second. Okay, so this definitely feels like you're really excited about something, right? Like you're really excited about something happening in your life. Truly. You don't want to calm down. You don't want to settle down, but you might feel like you're forced to in a sense, like your mental health might be suffering from that. But this all feels temporary. This all feels like you're just like you're like excited for this new season. You're definitely looking forward to it, is what I'm getting from this. But it might just be a lot based on the other elements happening in your life. And so therefore it's a bit like you need to kind of focus on that mental health element. Like you might just be overwhelming yourself with excitement, and it's causing a bit of the mind to feel bewildered and like emotional and also really overwhelmed. But this will obviously all come to an end. There's nothing that says this is permanent, especially if you focus on how this can be turned into a positive, especially if you can do that. And so in your outer world, I think that there's this definite encouragement to follow your purpose. What feels like it has the most purpose to you right now? Where is that leading you to? And like focusing on the end game is what I'm getting from this. Like keep your mind on that end goal, because I think that if you don't focus on that end vision for your life, like that end vision that is motivating to you, it's gonna start to affect you in like your world, in your external life this Virgo season. So getting control on this will eliminate kind of like this experience of like stress and just like feeling like a stalemate energy, like feeling like there's nowhere to go. There is somewhere to go. And you, of all the zodiac Pisces, have this ability to really make something happen based on this excited feeling. Like this excitement can actually be your reality, whatever this vision is. But you need to have that control to turn it into that and not feel like confined by your anxieties and your mental health. I think that's something you should really pay attention to. And whatever that means for you too, like whether that's talk therapy or journaling or simply just taking a breather, getting into nature. You know, we're about to head into fall, and sometimes people get anxiety around this time of year. That's very natural. But using this ability to take control of your mental health, I think, is going to be really, really beneficial for you this Virgo season. So I'm going to shuffle further for you to get more clarity on what you can do with this energy, how you can work with it, and how you can just benefit, like what you can benefit from focusing on now this Virgo season. Okay, I've gotten this twice now, so that has been coming up to my attention, so we are going to go with it. So you got Blue Lotus, Intuition. Look at that. This is like your card. So we are going to go into Blue Lotus. Intuitive knowing, unearthing the subconscious, meeting the guardians of mystery, dream work, initiation. The Blue Lotus is a direct doorway, a mediator into the world of the gods. The perfected balance that it bestows us assists us in bridging and refining the divine connection between the heart and brain. Blue Lotus today is assisting you in widening the portals of your intuitive powers, granting you access to the realms of inner knowledge held within the great mystery. Remember, the lotus rises from the depths of muddy waters, untouched and impeccable, to blossom into majestic beauty. Don't allow the muddy waters of the blossoming process to suppress your intuition. Look at that. That is your intuition. Don't allow the muddy waters of the blossoming process to suppress your intuition and believe in yourself. Trust the process and believe in the mystery. Listen deeply to the guardians of mystery as you unfold from darkness. Okay, so mystery, darkness, all of that, I believe, is really speaking to this anxiety. You know, your excitement in whatever this is, like in your inner world, might actually be the cause of this anxiety. And I think that you can truly, like, in terms of using your intuition, really tap into, like, what is the solution here? Not necessarily like, what do I need to focus on? What do I need to do? It's not about doing, I think. I think it's really meant to, whatever this is, needs to be really intuitively led to what the outcome will bring you, if that makes sense. Like, thinking about the outcome, the manifestation, like you are the magician in a sense, in a way, I believe. I believe that Pisces, you have this really innate ability to feel your intuition. And this is really just speaking about what that is. So this is connected to this. And when we're talking about a solution here, like your solution is to follow your intuition here. But obviously tend to your mental health and your well-being, because I think that that is going to give the results of this upright, your manifestation coming to life this season. So I hope that this reading really resonated with you, Pisces, and I hope that you have a beautiful Virgo season, and thank you so much for watching.